Another day, another empty wallet. My name is Kenji, and the world is my classroom. Today's lesson, how to acquire food and shelter. I was pondering this complex subject when I saw her through a window. A goddess, surrounded by fluffy clouds. Okay, they were poodles, but close enough. The sign on the door said help wanted. My curriculum for the day was set. Goal, get the job, study the goddess. So you have experience with animals? The goddess, whose name was Ayame, asked. I'm a natural, I declared, puffing out my chest. Animals are drawn to my powerful yet gentle aura. She didn't look convinced, but she was desperate. She handed me a tiny Pomeranian. Just give Princess a bath. As my hands brushed hers, I felt a jolt. Study note, skin-to-skin contact with a beautiful woman can generate enough electricity to power a small city. Must investigate further. I got Princess to the tub. Prepare for a journey into cleanliness, little one. The moment the water touched her, the fluff ball transformed into a swirling vortex of teeth and claws. It was a battle of wills. A tsunami of soap and water erupted from the tub, soaking me to the bone. I slipped and slid, trying to maintain my cool facade. This was just an advanced hydro wrestling technique, that's all. Ayame walked in. What is going on? I froze, then struck a heroic pose. Just applying the final touches of the, dynamic aqua massage. It stimulates the fur follicles, I said with a wink. She just stared, her eyebrow arched. Then my eyes drifted down. The water spray had made her crisp white uniform wonderfully transparent. Study note, H2O possesses fascinating optical properties when applied to cotton fabrics. Truly a miracle of science. Miraculously, I wasn't fired. Next up, a haircut. Just a simple trim, Ayame warned, her eyes narrowed. Don't get creative. The word creative echoed in my mind. This was my chance to impress her with my artistic genius. I would sculpt this dog's fur into a masterpiece that would capture her heart. I saw a picture of a lion on a bag of dog food. Inspiration struck like lightning. Behold, I announced to the empty room, the Pomelion. The creature on the table was a triumph. A majestic, albeit tiny mane, a powerful shaved body, a noble puff of fur on the tail. It was a perfect fusion of canine companionship and savanna ferocity, a work of pure art. Ayame would have to fall for me now. Ayame returned. Her face was a canvas of emotion. First confusion, then horror, then a shade of red I had only ever seen on stop signs. She started yelling, her voice rising in pitch, but I found myself utterly captivated. The way her chest heaved with every furious shout, it was hypnotic. Study note, extreme anger leads to increased respiration and vigorous pectoral movements. Fascinating. This is the worst, the most unprofessional. I will have you. Ayame's tirade was cut short by the chime of the front door. A fabulously wealthy-looking woman in a fur coat swept in. I'm here for my darling princess, she boomed. She stopped dead when she saw the Pomelion. Ayame went pale. I prepared for my imminent death. The woman, Mrs. Vanderpaws, slowly approached the grooming table. She peered at my creation from all angles. Then she burst out, magnifique. It is a statement. It is bold. It is art. She scooped up the dog and showered it with kisses. You boy are a genius, she declared, pointing a diamond-ringed finger at me. Ayame's jaw was on the floor. She was forced to watch as Mrs. Vanderpaws tipped me an obscene amount of money and booked a creative session for the following month. I was no longer just help wanted. I was Kenji, the artistic stylist. I gave Ayame a suave wink. She just twitched. Study note, a woman's anger can be instantly nullified by the whims of a wealthy client. Economics is a powerful aphrodisiac. My next assignment was a trio of identical white poodles. Their owner wants them styled for a traffic light party, Ayame said through gritted teeth. Red, yellow, and green. Use these pet-safe dyes. And Kenji, be careful. The warning was lost on me. I was too busy imagining Ayame in a traffic light bikini. Green for go, baby. I lined up the poodles. One of you will be the verdant green of passion, one the vibrant yellow of caution, and one the fiery red of, well, you know. I uncapped all 3 bottles at once, like a true artist. I might have been a bit too enthusiastic. A misplaced step on a stray dog toy sent me flying. The bottles flew from my hands, painting the air in a beautiful doomed arc. I landed with a squelch in a puddle of primary colors. The poodles were no longer red, yellow, or green, but a chaotic multicolored mess. Drawn by the crash, Ayami ran in. Kenji, what did you— Whoa! Her feet hit the slick dye and she went down, landing directly on top of me with a soft oof. Time slowed down. My face was inches from hers. Her dark hair, now streaked with yellow, fell across my cheek. Her eyes, wide with shock, were flecked with green. Her body was pressed against mine. We were a tangled, sticky human work of art. Study note: the laws of physics can create unexpectedly intimate scenarios. Gravity is the ultimate wingman. We scrambled apart as if electrocuted, both of us red-faced under the splotches of dye. What? Ayami stammered, unable to form a coherent, angry sentence. She was furious, but the sheer absurdity of the situation, of us sitting there like 2 messy children, was just too much. The poodle owner chose that exact moment to arrive. "I'm here for my babies," she sang. She saw the dogs, now looking like furry Jackson Pollock paintings, and her jaw dropped. Ayami and I braced for the end. "Oh my god," the owner whispered. "They're abstract expressionists. They're brilliant." Kenji. 2. Common sense. 0. My ego was now larger than the salon itself. I was a god of grooming, a titan of trims. For my final challenge of the day, Ayame led me to a cage holding a beast of mythical proportions, a gargantuan Afghan hound named Caesar. "The owner's dog," she said, her voice a low, dire warning. "Just a bath, Kenji. Don't. You dare?" I looked at Caesar's magnificent floor-length coat and saw my magnum opus. This was no mere dog. This was a canvas. I would transform him. I envisioned a noble samurai warrior, his hair sculpted into a fearsome helmet, his body trimmed to resemble armor, and a perfect top knot to complete the look. This would be the masterpiece that finally proved my worth to Ayami. I set to work with the clippers. "Hold still, noble warrior," I whispered, but Caesar was not a poodle. He was a force of nature. As I went to work on his magnificent mane, he let out a sneeze of earth-shattering power. A dense cloud of fine blonde hair shot from his snout like a cannon blast directly into the salon's main air conditioning vent. The vent choked, sputtered, and then died with a groan. A moment later, the main clippers in my hand sparked violently, and the entire salon was plunged into darkness. The only light came from the faint, flickering emergency signs, casting long, spooky shadows everywhere. The sudden darkness and the smell of ozone terrified poor Caesar. With a panicked howl, he bolted. The leash was wrapped around my wrist. I became a human water skier dragged behind a furry 4-legged speedboat on a chaotic tour of the darkened salon. We crashed through shelves of shampoo, toppled displays of rhinestone collars, and sent bags of dog food flying. "Kenji!" Ayami's voice cut through the chaos. A bright beam from her phone's flashlight sliced through the darkness, landing on the scene of utter devastation. There I was, tangled in the leash with a terrified half-shaved Afghan hound, sitting in the middle of a mountain of wreckage that used to be a luxury pet salon. There was no eccentric owner to save me this time. This was it. I looked at Ayami's face in the phone light. She wasn't red with anger anymore. She just looked tired, defeated. "Just get out, Kenji," she said, her voice quiet. It hit me harder than any of her furious yelling. I limped to the wrecked bathroom to clean up. Looking in the cracked mirror, I saw a pathetic sight. A boy covered in dye, dog hair, and shame. I had been so focused on my art and my study notes that I never once thought about what Ayame needed or what was best for the dogs. I wasn't a genius. I was just a selfish idiot. So I was fired, for real this time, and for good reason. As I pedaled away on my trusty bicycle, I wasn't smiling. I'd made a colossal mess and hurt someone I was trying to impress. The lesson of the day was a tough one. It's not about grand gestures or being a genius. It's about listening, being considerate, and actually helping. That was the real skill. I still had a lot to study. On to the next class.